won't it? Is it going to be delayed? Is it coming out in November? That's what the gaming world was in a tizzy earlier this week, to the point where Polymarket, the terrible prediction app, chances spiked of a delay. Take-Two stock fell just a meager 1.7% just at the mention on a podcast that Call of Duty, I almost said, Grand Theft Auto 6 may not be content complete yet. That's what Jason Schreier had said. We did report it on Insider Gaming, but I feel I'm going to toot our horn. We reported on it the best because some of these, the way it was reported, were terrible, to say the least. One headline was Grand Theft Auto 6 may face another delay, according to Insider Jason Schreier. He never said that. And the one that stood out that he specifically on his report on Bloomberg, I highly recommend going to read it so you can see just a type of just how fanatical fans can be, and not in the best way. GTA 6 third delay has gamers kissing goodbye to their November dreams. What the hell was that? Awful. But GTA 6, the big thing that came out of that was it might not be content complete. Last he heard. Who knows when that was? Yeah. But also that there was confidence, and it felt like this November 26th release date, 2026 release date was real. It felt real, and that was important context that we covered at Insider Gaming that other outlets just seem to want to skip over, and it kind of it led to some drama to where he shared quotes that he received of threats from people over just a comment he made on a podcast. And my point with this discussion is literally, what are people doing with their reactions to this? Like, we reported on it because it's something to say, hey, it might not be content complete, but that doesn't mean you should worry about a delay. Game development is hard. No one can say for sure what's going to happen. The world might end tomorrow and no one ever sees it. Like, that's just how it is.
Yeah, I think it came out as well, right? Soon after the misquotes that even Red Dead Redemption 2 wasn't content complete 4 months before it released, right? They were still doing mocap and stuff like that. I think just quickly covering what Jason said, and obviously like a couple of months ago, I said that the game was content ready. I think there's been some misinterpretation from different sources of exactly what that means, if that makes sense, because does content ready mean that the pipeline of what they want to do is ready, but they've not captured it and it's not content complete yet?
Yeah.
Or has something more sinister happened with game development? And I said this on the Iron Lords, and is a reason why I don't want to get into it too much in this episode. But on Iron Lords After Dark, at the end of the day, game development is tremendously all over the place, right? It isn't a linear process. It really isn't point A to point B. There are so many different things in between there, and we can speculate a little bit, right? Like, this is the first game where Houser's not been involved in the project, so is there a new director on the project changing the pipeline a little bit and throwing in bits and bobs here and there? It came out earlier this week that 3 people had been fired at Rockstar for leaking. So has that in some capacity throughout development changed how they want the game to look like and stuff like that? So yeah, it's all very interesting. I will say that it's very unfortunate to see outlets continue to misquote people and twist it in their own ways for views. I think, let's be honest, Insider Gaming has done that a couple of times, but that's down to lack of experience and all that kind of stuff. And I just hope that people can start learning from mistakes. But when you see it time and time again, it's just very unfortunate to see, and to see people giving death threats over unsubstantiated claims is very, very
and it was and it's one of those things. If it's someone talking on a podcast, like, if there was a worry or risk about a delay, I'm pretty sure he would have written a story. it would have been his big Friday exclusive that he done.
Yeah,
because there's very few like I'm gonna plug Totillo again with GameFile, but Schreier like is one of the best journalists in this industry, and it like the egos of like people like me and like it's easy to and you Tom and Grant, like you can see who the top tier are. Like if he's not gonna just recklessly speculate on things. And this was a case of him just saying, hey, last he heard it wasn't content complete. And you brought up content ready. And when I hear content ready, I hear, hey, it's feature complete in the dev pipeline. The features are ready, and now it's time to fill it in.
Yeah.
And that's what I took. And people were throwing you under the bus saying you lied. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, ready and complete are two different things. Like,
yeah, I mean, even
I don't
so
want to get on my soapbox
like
because I don't want to be.
Even so, I think it's important that you, because you did say this, is we still don't know when Schreier heard this. We don't know from how many. For all we know, he could have heard it 3 months ago, right? Around the time when I said that it was content ready. So it is what it is. It's just unfortunate, I guess. Like GTA 6 is always going to bring in the views. Let's be honest. We know it from our side doing what we do. So anytime that it's mentioned, people are going to lap it up, and I would definitely imagine that this isn't going to be the last podcast that we do where GTA 6 is in the title for one reason or another, right? But yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's a video game. Video games get delayed. GTA 6 could get delayed. Will it get delayed? I don't know, but it's just game development, and we've said it time and time again. Rockstar are not releasing that thing if there is anything wrong with it.
Though they might have to, because there is the one thing that kind of got buried with the lead, with all this drama surrounding will it and won't it. There's still that lawsuit and the investigation going on whether Rockstar involved in union busting, and that went to court and. Or not court, but they've started to have more investigations and more claims, and it's a case of Rockstar is now saying that they fired people for leaking information to influencers, and the union says no, that you fired us for talking about things in the Discord for labor practices. And this is a situation that I think that's being buried over this, and it's kind of frustrating to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them, right? Like, I think even in the reporting that we do, I mean, we literally just had the conversation with Stephen, right? There's certain things that make headlines and there's certain things that don't, and the audience is always going to gravitate to the thing that they want the most. And unfortunately, in terms of the public interest from GTA 6 to the union and stuff, they just want to lap up GTA 6 stuff. A lot of people are not really bothered about that side, which is very unfortunate. And maybe that will have an impact on GTA 6's release date. I really do doubt it, to be honest, but it's just an interesting time in the industry with what's going on and seeing I'm not sure how many millions it was, right? I know it was 1.7% or something like that takes who lost, but it's interesting to see how a $1 billion company can lose probably, what would it have been, like tens of millions over someone doing a comment on a podcast. It's
right, and this just shows you the power I guess Schreier has. So maybe if he wants to use his power to get me a couple remakes or something, I don't know. AP Grant, do you have any thoughts on any of this?
Yeah, it's interesting, to say the least. I guess I sit here, I kind of think about it. Does it kind of like enforcing like the whole lawsuit we're talking about, like, I guess with like secrecy, does it kind of like, does it protect the game, or kind of does it, look at it as like kind of suffocating, I guess, the people that are making it, I guess, so to speak, right? I guess you can kind of ask yourselves that question, and then kind of circling back and thinking about what we were talking about earlier, though, too, whenever it comes down to if the game itself is going to be delayed. I mean, like Tom mentioned, I mean, games, they get delayed all the time. I understand the scope, the fact that GTA 6 could, in fact, become the very biggest video game of all time, more than likely will. But you also want to have a game that's, you want to have something that's feature complete, man. Like, why do you want to have something that's not complete? And then you're going to have, you release something that's not complete, and then you're going to have people complaining about that. So it's like you can't win either way. I look back at a tweet from Rockstar Games. It was back on November 6th, whenever they initially announced this delay. They said GTA 6 will now release on Thursday, November 19th, 2026. It says, we are sorry for adding the additional time to what we realize has been a very long wait, but these extra months, and this is the key part, but these extra months will allow us to finish the game with the level of polish you will have to come to expect and deserve. So that right there tells me they're still working on finishing the game themselves right there at that point. And that was only 2 months ago. You guys know how big this game is. It's obviously going to take a long time. So whenever Jason mentioned that the other day, it didn't surprise me that they're still working on completing it, you know? Yeah, that's I don't know. That's kind of what I think.